Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja
Jana
Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Premanande. Srila Prabhupada ki Jayo Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Astatarshata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charna Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jayo Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Astatarshata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Srila Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Shri Balana Balaram Purnim Mahamahotsava ki jai, Shri Balaram Purnim Adivas Mahamahotsava ki jai, Prem Sukaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasani Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Mayapur Dham ki jai, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Ganga Mai ki jai, Jamuna Mai ki jai, Tulsi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Yugadaya Mahainam Sankirtan Jagya ki jai, Brihat Mridanga Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai, Shri Shri Radhamadava ki jai, Tagore Premanande. All glories to thee, Samad devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to thee, Samad devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to thee, Samad devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru, Shri Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Cell Phone One Karo. Everyone please switch your cell phones onto the silent mode. Thank you so much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tito Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishna Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Jnana Chamandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Devi Shesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchata Panchavischa Kripa Sindhu Vyakrivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurumukam Kuroti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishvaram Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So it is my great honor and pleasure to be here this evening, here in Calgary, ISKCON Calgary, Shri Shri Radha Madhava Mandir, long way from Mayapur, but still it's right here in Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada said that our ISKCON temples are like emissaries, like the embassies of the spiritual world. So here we have in Calgary, Canada, embassy of Mayapur. Haribol. So I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very grateful to all the devotees here for hosting me. Thank you very much. May aap sab bahut abhari hai. And I left Montreal this morning, and I woke up at 2 o'clock, chanted a few rounds, caught my flight, and reached Calgary. So I'm so grateful to be here by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his devotees. And we're about to celebrate the most auspicious day of Sri Balaram Purnima. And Balaram is appearing tomorrow. So today I thought we'd have a little adivas. We begin to speak about Lord Balaram to get in the mood of Lord Balaram's appearance day. And I hope this is all right with all of you. Okay, very good. Thank you. So Kripaya aap sab aashirwad dijiye. Please give your blessings, and I can speak for my own purification. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So, who is Balaram? Balaram is the original spiritual master. He's the first expansion of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. That Ishvara Parama Krishna, of all the Ishwaras, the controller, Krishna is Parama, he is the topmost controller. And Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And Krishna is the first, the original, Adi Purusham, the original person. And then Krishna created so many other living entities and expanded also in order to increase his pleasure. Anandomayo Vyasat. That Lord Krishna is always seeking pleasure. Who here wants to be happy? Would you like to be happy? Sab Shuki? Want to be happy? Chaktahe? Good. So why do we want to be happy? We want to be happy because Krishna wants to be happy. And we are small parts and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. So Krishna is like fire and we are like small spark. So Krishna also expanded himself in Vishnu Tattva forms. Forms that have the same amount of Shakti as Krishna. And Balaram is the first expansion. Just like if you have one candle, and that candle is giving off so much heat, so much light, and Hindi mein candle, how do you say? Mombati. Right. How do you say orange? And one other name is there also? Mosambi. Sometimes I can get confused. Mombati, Mosambi. Can I have some Mombati juice? Mosambi, right? Mombati. Okay. So Krishna, he's the original candle, and from that candle, so many other candles have been lit. And each candle has same amount of light and same amount of heat. But only one candle, the Krishna candle, is the original candle. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matasarvam pravartate etimadva bhajante mam buddha bhava samamvidaha. Krishna says, I am the original source of all spiritual and material worlds. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Everything is coming from me. So Balaram is also coming from Krishna. And he's the first expansion. And Srila Prabhupada says, there's only one difference between Krishna and Balaram. Does anyone know what that difference is? What is the difference between, and there's only one difference between Krishna and Balaram. Flute? Oh, I think Balaram can also play a flute. He plays very good mridanga.
You mean the thief?
Balama was elder, sir.
Excuse me?
He was elder to Krishna.
He's elder to Krishna.
You
Yes.
mean the qualities? By qualities?
By qualities, in a sense, yes, one quality is different.
What are
His color, who said that? Yes, color. What color is Krishna? He's black, like a black monsoon rain cloud. And what color is Balaram? He's white, he's sweet. We have a photo here. This is a photo of Balaram. Balaram ji ki jai. Balaram is very beautiful. He's whitish. Some say like Krishna is dark like monsoon cloud, and Balaram is white like spring cloud. And Balaram's color is also compared to clear crystal. Beautiful. You can see his beautiful hair, his kundala, his beautiful earrings. He wears necklaces of jewels and beautiful flower garlands. And he's very, very attractive, just like Krishna is attractive. Balaram is very, very beautiful. And Balaram, as the first expansion of Krishna's potency, he provides all the paraphernalia for Krishna's enjoyment. He expands as Krishna's flute. Krishna's flute is Balaram. As Krishna's bed where Krishna sleeps. As Krishna's pillow. As Krishna's kopra is Vastra. What he would kopra. He expands as the Krishna's shoes. He expands as Krishna's garland, as all the things used by Krishna for Krishna's pleasure and satisfaction. And Balaram also expands as the holy dham of Sri Vrindavan for Lord Krishna's pleasure. And he does a wonderful service as Sri Vrindavan dham to give Krishna pleasure. Would you like to hear a joke? If you'd like to hear a joke, please say Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
So, one time, there was a pujari living in Vrindavan, and he was doing his daily puja very nicely. And he always had a desire to travel to the Western countries. Who here wanted to travel to the Western countries? I think all of you, otherwise why would I be here? So you can relate, this pujari had desire to travel to the West. So he did not make it all the way to Canada, but he went to Europe. And he was in Italy, and he traveled to Rome. And Rome is the capital of the, I believe, the Catholic religion.
Yes.
And they have the Vatican there. And the head of the Catholic religion is the Pope. So this pujari said, I want to meet the Pope. So he went to the Pope's secretary and explained he'd come from India, and he was pujari, and he wanted to meet the Pope. And the secretary agreed and arranged an interview for him. So the pujari went and met the Pope, and they sat together in the Pope's office, and they had a wonderful discussion about Krishna consciousness, and they became very good friends. And the pujari said, if you ever come to India, please come visit me in Vrindavan. The Pope agreed, yes, of course. So the pujari was getting ready to leave the Pope's office, and then he saw on the Pope's desk there was a very special phone. It was a golden phone. Who here has heard this joke before? Few. Okay. Don't tell everybody. So this phone, he said, the pujari said, what is this phone? So the Pope said, this is a very special phone. With this phone, I can speak with God. Pujari said, you can speak with God? Really? Can I try it? And the Pope said, yes, only be careful because it's very expensive. And when you hang up the phone, there's like a piece of paper at the bottom, a roll of paper, and you hang up, and the paper comes down, it says how much you have to pay. Like in an STD booth. Yeah, STD booth. ISD. So, GSD, God Standard Call. So the pujari picks up the phone and calls, and he speaks with God, and he's speaking for some time, and then remember, oh, it's expensive. He hangs it up, the paper comes, $3,000 US. You know, very expensive. The pujari said, oh no, this is my life savings. I will pay this much. And where is the ATM? The Pope said, don't worry, you're my guest. And Atiti Devo, you know. So I want to offer this seva to you. I will sponsor your call to God. Please come back, use the phone anytime. And the pujari was very grateful. He said, thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you. And again, please come visit me in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So the Pope said, yes, certainly. So a few years passed, and the Pope began traveling. And sure enough, the Pope traveled to India. And when he was in Delhi, he remembered that Delhi is very close to Vrindavan. Who here has been to Vrindavan? Haribol, most of us. So Vrindavan is a wonderful place, small town, but 5,000 temples. And the pujari was doing his seva in one of the temples. And one day, who comes to his temple? The Pope. So he was so happy. It was noon arti. He gave darshan to the Pope, arranged Rajbhog, prasad for the Pope. They had wonderful prasadam. They spoke, they enjoyed, they spoke about old times, visiting together. And then the Pope was getting ready to leave. And as he was getting ready to leave, he saw on the pujari's desk, there was a golden phone. He said, "Oh, you've got one of these also." And the pujari said, "Yes, yours is so excellent. I also needed to get one." So the Pope said, "You know, it's been a long time. I've been traveling outside of the Vatican, Rome, Italy. I have not had a chance to call God for a long time. May I please use your phone?" So the pujari said, "Yes, of course, please, go right ahead. Speak as long as you want." So the Pope picked up the phone, and he spoke with God, and he spoke, and he spoke, and he spoke. Long time he spoke. And then he remembered, "Oh, I'm on phone with God, golden phone. Excuse me, God, I have to go. I have some other seva to do for you." And the Pope hung up the phone, and a piece of paper came, and the Pope held it up and saw 7 rupees. And the Pope said, 7 rupees? Why only 7 rupees? And the pujari said, "Local call." So this is the beauty of Sri Vrindavan Dham. That Sri Vrindavan Dham is so close to Krishna. And Balaram is actually the personality who has created Sri Vrindavan Dham for the pleasure of Krishna. And Sri Vrindavan Dham is such a wonderful place. Srila Prabhupada said that Mumbai, or Bombay at that time, Bombay is my office, and Mayapur is my place of worship, and Vrindavan is my home. So Vrindavan is a wonderful place, and it's home for all of us, actually. All of us in the family of Srila Prabhupada. And that is Balaram's mercy. Jai Shri Balaram Ji Ki Jai. So we discussed already about his beautiful form, and also Balaram Ji is eternally 16 years old, at least in this Leela. Balaram is 16-year-old youth, and you know how young people, they're just radiant with so much energy. So that's Balaram. He's so much energy. Bala means strength. He's very, very powerful. He's very strong. And he's known as Dauji. Dauji means older brother, right?
Yes.
So Dauji Kavaya Krishna Kanaya. Right? Dauji Kavaya Krishna Kanaya. Dauji Kavaya
Krishna Kanaya.
Dauji Kavaya
Krishna Kanaya.
Dauji Kavaya
Krishna Kanaya.
Krishna Kanaya
Dauji Kavaya.
Krishna Kanaya
Dauji Kavaya.
Krishna Kanaya
Dauji Kavaya.
Dauji Kavaya
Krishna Kanaya.
Dauji Kavaya
Krishna Kanaya.
Dauji Kavaya.
Krishna Kanaya.
So Dauji and Krishna are living together with Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj. Revati is Balaram's mother, and they're staying in Nandagram and doing wonderful cow herding pastimes together. They're herding the cows. Ji ki jai. So there's a very famous Leela where it'd be nice to remember that one time Dauji and Kanaya, Balaram and Krishna, they were herding the cows and they were near the forest of Talavan. And the other cowherd boys, they said to Krishna and Balaram that, oh dear Krishna and Balaram, very close to here is a beautiful forest called Talavan. And the trees there, they have such sweet fruits. And those fruits are so fragrant. Can't you smell them from here? And they said, we would love to eat those fruits, but there's a very horrible demon in Talavan. And his name is Denikasura. And he's so frightening. Any person that goes there, he eats them alive. Very dangerous demon. But we know that you are killing demons all the time. So let us go there and enjoy the fruits. So Krishna and Balaram, in order to please their friends, they agreed to do this. So Balaram goes and he starts shaking the tal tree. And all these fruits start falling. And Denikasura, he hears the sound of the fruits falling, and he becomes very, very angry. Who is coming to my forest and is disturbing my fruits? And he starts charging out, and he's in the form of an ass. He's in the form of a donkey. And he comes and he charges Krishna and Balaram, and he charges at Balaram, and he wheels around, and he kicks Balaram right in the chest with his hind legs. And Balaram doesn't move at all. And then Denikasura again kicks him. And this time Balaram grabs him by the hind legs and starts to wheel him around. Faster and faster. Boom, and he throws him into the tree. And Denikasura dies just from being dizzy. He gets dizzy to death. And Balaram throws him into a tree. Balaram ki jai. So then the other ass demons, Denikasura's friends, they also get angry. And they also charge at Krishna and Balaram. And they try to kick them. And Balaram and Krishna, they grab them by the hind legs and they're whirling them around. And they're flying into the trees and they're grabbing ass after ass. And the trees are just falling over like dominoes, you know, like tree into tree, boom, 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 boom. Because they're filled with demons, and these big ass demons are all different colors. And the sky, it looks like different color clouds in the sky, and it's very, very, very beautiful. And then the cowherd boys say, okay, Krishna Balaram ki jai, well done, well done. Let us now eat the fruits. But the fruits were contaminated by the blood of the demons. So they said, this is not good for us to eat. But other people in the forest, they later ate the fruits. So Denikasura is a very important demon in Vrindavan. And each of the demons that Krishna and Balaram killed in Vrindavan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and other acharyas have explained that each demon represents a particular anartha, or bad quality, unwanted thing that we have in our hearts. And by hearing these leelas, we can overcome these anarthas. So the anartha that Denakasura represents is a lack of knowledge of the soul, lack of knowledge of who we really are, spirit, soul, because we're blinded by our ass-like materialistic desires and intelligence. We just want to work hard like an ass, and we're not at all interested in spiritual knowledge. So this is a very important aspect. Gross materialistic intelligence, jackass-like foolishness. There's a nice verse in the Bhagavatam. I put it up there. Maybe if I make it a little bigger, maybe we can chant it. Let's see. Yeah, this is a nice verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Ready? Pumsam striyamai tuni bhavametam Tayor mito hridaya grantimahu Ato griha kshetra sutapta viter Janasya mohoyam aham mameti. So this is, let me make this a little bit more readable here, if I can. Let's see. Hello. Maybe I have it here in my database, yeah. The attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of the male and female, one becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusions and thinks in terms of I and mine. So the ass, he's very much interested in sex life, and he just works hard to get sex life. And even, I saw this recently when I was in Vrindavan, that the he-ass is chasing the she-ass for sex life, and she's kicking him in the face. And he's thinking, oh, this is very nice. And he continues to try to enjoy. So the ass-like mentality is to just chase after materialistic sense gratification and think that the goal of life is just to enjoy one's senses. But that is like an illusion, like a deer running after water in the desert. When the deer is running after water in the desert, it looks like water is there, but actually the deer jumps for the water, but just gets a mouth filled with hot sand and dies there. So this punascarvata charvananam is chewing the chewed and trying to enjoy the sense gratification of this life. This is just animalistic consciousness, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. But atato brahma jigyasya, we have to inquire about the absolute truth to understand more. This animalistic life, it leads one to think, I, me, mine. Like Denakasura is saying, these are my fruits. This is my forest. No one else can come here. But Krishna says in Ishopanishad, Ishavasya idam sarvam yatkincha jagat jagat chena chak chena bunchita magvidha tasya svidhanam. That everything in this world, moving, non-moving, is owned by the Supreme Lord. And one should only take what is his quota, because one should know to whom everything actually belongs. So this is the illusion of Denakasura, that he was thinking that I, me, mine, my fruits, just because of this jackass-like foolishness. So when we look at Atmagyan, we want to overcome the ignorance of knowledge of the self. So that's given to us in Bhagavad Gita, like in 2:11. Na tvameva ham jatuna samna tvam neme janadipaha na chaiva nama vishyamaha sarve vayam ataparam. Krishna says, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor will there ever be a time when any of us cease to be. Then 2:13, Dihinos Vinyatade Komram Yovanam Chara, Tata Dehantaras Praptya, Dirastacha, Namuyati. As the embodied soul passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at the time of death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. 2:20, Najayate Namriyate Vakadachid Nabutva Nabhavata Vanabuyaha Ajonijam Shasvato Yambrano Nahanyate Hanyamane Sharire. And for the soul there's neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being. He will not come into being. He's unborn, ever-existing, primeval. He's not slain when the body is slain. And then 2:22, Vasamsi Jirnani Tatavi Haya Navani Grananti Naroparni Tatasharirani Vihad Janani Anyani Sanyati Navani Dehi. Just as the old clothes, they get holes. So some you have to give them up and then take on some new clothes. Today, when I arrived in the airport, Acharya Nidhi Prabhu had kindly come to pick me up. It was so nice to see him, and we were very happy to meet each other for the first time in this lifetime. And then we saw my suitcase had come. We knew it was my suitcase because it had some saffron cloth tied on it, like that. And we were happy. Oh, suitcases come. Let's go. Let's go for prasadam. And then we saw one of the wheels was missing on the suitcase. So we said, oh, maybe we should complain. All right, the desk was right there. So we went there and we said, one wheel is broken on the suitcase. Any compensation possible? So the lady was there. She was very nice. Immediately she goes in the back and she brings one Nayawala, brand new suitcase.
American Tourister.
American Tourister, yeah. 4-wheel drive. Brand new. So we were very happy. So we're so happy. So I gave her, I have some CDs with me from my kirtan. So I gave her one CD as a gift. And then I said, I'll give you some spiritual knowledge. So I told her the shloka. Vasamsi Jirnani Tata Vihaya Navani Navanti Noro Prani Tata Sharirani Vihaya Janani Anyani Samyanti Navani Dehi. Navani, new Dehi, body. So I told her, just as my old suitcase had some holes and one wheel was gone, so we had to transfer everything from the old suitcase into the new suitcase. So similarly, when your body will get old, everything gets transferred, your Atma will get transferred, soul, into a new body. So she was very happy to receive this knowledge. All the other co-workers also were happy. It was very nice, nice people. And then, Nainam Chintanti Shastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavakaha, Nainam Kledyanti Apo, Nainam Shoshati Marutaha. That the soul cannot be cut by any weapon, it cannot be wet by the water, cannot be burnt by the fire, it cannot be dried by the wind. So real knowledge of the soul is eternal. Natwamevaham Chatunasam. Jiveras Rupahoy Krishnera Nityadas. They were all eternally servants of Krishna. Mamamamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Mana Shashtani Indriyani Prakritistani Kashati. That the living entity is a small part, Amsa, small part of Krishna, and is suffering from the 6 senses, including the mind, and is suffering, taking the repetition of birth and death, Punarjanma, Abrahma Bhuvanaloke, Punar Arvartino Juna, Mamu Pecha Tukanteya, Punarjanmana Vidite. So the living entity is moving from the Swargaloka to Naragloka, is different 84 lakh species of life, sometimes human, sometimes dog, roof, roof, sometimes cat, sometimes mouse, cheep, 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 sometimes fish. All different living entities, moving different planets, and suffering, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi, dukkha, doshana, darshanam. So in this way, the living entities is moving around and around and around, but our goal is to go back to Godhead. Haribol. So, Bhakti-mama vijananti avanyaschasmi tattvataha tatomam tattvato gyatva vishating tadanantaram. And Krishna says, by bhakti, one can know me in truth, and when one knows me in truth, Puna janma na vidite, does not take birth again in this material world, goes back home, back to Godhead. So we should practice this bhakti yoga. And in Kali Yuga, Kaler dosha nadhe raja nasti heko mahan gunan kirtanadiyeva Krishna mukta sangha param vrajat. That the topmost bhakti in Kali Yuga is this chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I think we're coming to our conclusion here, that actually, with the help of Balaram, the original spiritual master, we can realize our real identity as spirit soul, eternal servant of Krishna, and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
जय सत्यवा प्रभु की शिल प्रभुपाद की
Prabhu, do we have any time for questions or comments?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, so I can ask if anyone has any questions or any comments.
Sir, you have said the purpose of life is to go back to Godhead. My point is, sir, that why did we leave first Godhead?
Why did we leave first Godhead? Okay, let me
We came
see.
from Godhead and we have to go again, go to God.
So thank you for bringing up this point. I'm very grateful to you. And before I continue, I'd just like to make sure I understand your point correctly. You're asking that because we're speaking about going back to Godhead,
Yes.
then why did we come away from Godhead
Yes.
here in the first
Yes, sir.
place?
Why we left Godhead first?
Oh, okay. So thank you for bringing
Because
this
you
up.
say you are going back to Godhead, it means we were first in Godhead.
Correct.
Why we left at all?
Okay. So do I understand your question?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
This is my curiosity.
Okay. So yes, it's a matter of curiosity. We have an expression in English,
Yes.
curiosity killed the cat. Have you heard this expression? So curiosity is not the most healthy thing. We should be careful where we put our curiosity and where we put our attention and where we put our energy, our thoughts, our focus. Life is short, we have limited time, we have
Yes.
limited energy. So we should put our energy, time, and focus into the most critical and important matters. And those matters that are not so important, we should put aside and focus on the most important things.
Yes.
So Srila Prabhupada makes this point in two ways. He gives two examples. He says that, he gives the example that if a person is drowning in the ocean,
Yes, sir.
then someone throws him a rope to save him from the ocean and says, grab the rope, and the person is drowning and the rope is there, but then he says, wait, first tell me how I got in the ocean, then later I'll grab the rope.
Yes.
Does it make sense? No. He should grab the rope and get out.
Yes. You should grab the rope.
He should grab the
and
rope.
come out.
Right. The second example that Prabhupada gives is called the crow and the tau fruit logic. what is it? Kakra?
Kawa.
Koa. Kawa. The crow and tau fruit. We also talked about tau fruit in this lila. This fruit. It's a big fruit tree. So there were two sadhus sitting underneath the tau tree, and they were relaxing. So a kawa, a crow, comes and lands on the tree, stays for a short time. Then the kawa flies away, and one fruit, tau fruit, falls. And one sadhu says, "Oh, the kawa flew, therefore the fruit fell." And the other sadhu says, no, it's not like that. The fruit fell, therefore the kawa flew. But it does not make any difference in either case. Whether the crow flew and the tau fruit fell, or the fruit fell and the crow flew, it does not make any difference. So it does not make any difference how we came here, why we came here. We are here, right?
We are here.
Yes, so let us get out.
We have to get it.
So these are the points Prabhupada make, and he encouraged us, don't spend time discussing this point. He said, don't waste your time discussing this point. Yeah. Okay?
A wise man should not have left his original home.
Agreed. But a wise man. It seems we're not wise.
We have created a problem by leaving our home.
We have created a problem. But Prabhupada is so kind that he's giving us the opportunity to go back. Let us be grateful to Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's devotees for this wonderful opportunity, and utilize all of our time, energy, and resource to go back home, back to Godhead, and also help others. Bharata bhumate hoya manusya janmajar janma satakakari para upakar. Lord Chaitanya has said, first, make your life successful by becoming Krishna conscious. And then help others also make their life successful by giving them Krishna consciousness. So this is how we stay busy. And this is our good fortune and Bahut Bhagyavan. This is our great opportunity. Is that all right?
You are right, sir. Because we have now come back, so we have to strive to go back.
Yes.
We have to get rid of we have to get our freedom.
Yes.
I know the present problem is we have to go back.
Yes, correct.
For whatever reason we might have come here, but we know our problem is to go back.
Yes, correct.
Problem was desire.
Yes, Prabhu.
Gaudiya Vaishnavas are the followers of Radharani, because since Radharani is in the service of Krishna all the time,
Yes.
so that's why they follow Radharani, as their spiritual master. And so when we say that Lord Balaram inherited from Lord Krishna the very first time, so at what point Radharani, was originated from Lord Krishna, and then how and then how all of this blend together.
Yeah, it's difficult to describe in terms of time, because time in the spirit, not twame aham jatu nasam, never was there time, but now I did not exist. So time in the spiritual world is conspicuous by its absence. So there's a different conception of time in the spiritual world than we have here. The example is the frog in the well, which you must be knowing the frog in the well example. There's a frog living in the well. His friend came and said, I just came from the ocean. So the frog said, oh, how big is the ocean? His friend said, oh, it's huge, so big. So the frog said, is it twice the size of my well? And he said, no, much bigger. Is it 2-3 times the size? No, bigger, 4 times bigger. So like that, we have no experience of time besides this materialistic time that we deal with. So to have a conception of time in the spiritual world is beyond our comprehension, actually. Krishna, he expanded as Balaram, and then he also expanded as Srimati Radharani. And Balaram's the masculine energy, and Radharani is the feminine energy, the Shakti. So in this way, there's kind of like two paramparas. Where from Balaram, then comes Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and then there's another expansion and another quadruple, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and like this there are further expansions. And from Srimati Radharani, who's also the first Shakti expansion, then come other Shakti forms like Lakshmi and Saraswati and Durga and so on like that. Is that okay? Yeah, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Or kuch chahiye? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, born in India and being Hindus, we feel very difficulty to keep our mind focused on Krishna. Sometimes we go near to him, sometimes we go away from him, near to him and away from him. So we want to hear about you, how you were able to focus your mind and you dedicated your life in Krishna service, so that it will give an inspiration lesson for us.
So thank you for your nice question. If I understand your question correctly, you're asking me about how I came to Krishna consciousness. So, growing up in the Western countries, Krishna consciousness, it's like a desert. There's like very little spirituality here. I grew up in a Jewish background, but I found it to be very materialistic. My friends, relatives, they would go to the temple just to show off their new watch and see each other, be seen. I didn't feel it was sincere. So I became an atheist, Gnostic. I was thinking, when people die, does the worms eat their brains and everything finish? I thought the life force is just some electrical current in the brain, and when the person dies, it's like switch off the switch, everything finished. But then, when I was 15 years old, my sister, she was in New York City, and she met some Hare Krishna devotees, and they sold her Bhagavad Gita as it is. And my birthday was coming up. So she said, what can I give my brother for his birthday? I said, I have this book. So she gifted me Bhagavad Gita as it is. So she's one of my original Vartma Pradashika gurus. She's showing me the path of Krishna consciousness, whether she realized it or not. So I had Bhagavad Gita as it is, and I kept it on my bookshelf as it is. Then I went to college in Boston, Berklee College of Music, and I made friends with one Australian tabla player. He had studied tabla in Benares for a few years. And he would tell me stories how in the summer he'd be practicing at night, because it's a little cooler. And he told me big gorillas would come in through the window and sit and watch him, play the tabla. Huge gorillas, they can, rip you apart, but they would just sit and watch. So he came, he was giving a seminar at Berklee. And then he told me, we became friends, and then one day he said, I need a place to stay. If you let me stay with you in your flat, I'll teach you Indian music. So I said, sounds great. So we stayed together. He was traveling around the world. He had a full-size tanpura, a big tanpura. He had tabla, he had pakwaj, he had mridanga, and a shopping cart. Guitar, so many instruments. Wonderful singer also. So I studied tabla with him. And every morning we would go in the park across the street from my flat with the tanpura and sing under one tree. And he told me, if you sing under the same tree every day, the tree will get to know you. Yeah. So we were singing and we were chanting, oh. He was kind of into impersonalist philosophy. And he taught me like sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa di da pa sa. And we were singing. And one day he said, Hari Om, brother. He would say, Hari Om. Let us go to the Hare Krishna temple for the Sunday feast. We'll get good vegetarian feast there. So I said, all right. So we went, and he brought his tabla. That time I was a trumpet player. I played the trumpet. So I brought my trumpet, and we had big kirtan with the Hare Krishnas. He was playing his tabla, I was playing my trumpet. It was great. And then they served the feast. And it was like yellow rice with like cashews and paneer and very tasty dal with so many wonderful spices and different sabjis and curry and like different forms of, there was a lassi and there was halava and there was like sandesh and more paneer, and there was chutney and all these different flavor sensations, and I became really attracted.
Which city? Prabhu? Yeah. Which city?
Boston. And in Boston, they had a program that you could come 6 nights a week for dinner prasadam. Anyone could come and give a small donation and get full prasadam, like 6 in the evening. So I'm a college student living close to the temple, and wow, prasadam is there. So I became prasada bhakta. And my favorite preparation was halava. And they would make blueberry halava, strawberry halava, pineapple halava, so many carob, so many wonderful kinds of halava. And it was just a wonderful experience. And then I started staying after the prasadam for the artik sometimes, and then sometimes for the class. And then I graduated from college, and my grandfather was very surprised that I graduated. He never thought I would make it. So he said, I'm so proud of you that you graduated from college. I want to give you a gift. He said, I'll give you a choice. Number 1, I will give you money and I will send you to entrepreneur school, and I will give you money to open your own business. You can open your own recording studio. Or, number 2, I'll give you money for a flight ticket to Europe. He said, you choose. So I said, I'll take the flight ticket to Europe. So I went to Europe, and after some time my money ran out, but I had my trumpet. And Krishna made an incredible arrangement. It's a very long story, but incredible arrangement that just when I had nothing and I was praying to God, please help me, immediately I met professional musicians in Paris and joined the band, and we were touring all over France and Italy and Germany and Amsterdam, and I got money as a professional musician, and I traveled 3 years and more than 25 countries. And I was trying to understand that on this earth planet, what is the greatest thing? What is the most enjoyable thing? What is the greatest benefit one can find? And I found, of all my experiences, the greatest experience is when people are coming together to glorify God. And in many places, I found Hare Krishna devotees in Brazil, in Argentina, in different parts of America. And when I met devotees and I got prasadam with them and I was chanting with them, I felt like I was at home. And they were chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. One day I was in the JFK, John F. Kennedy Airport in New York, and I met one very nice devotee wearing suit and tie, and he showed me Srimad Bhagavatam. And he said, I said, oh, this is very nice. Can I give you a donation? And he said, yes, sure. So I gave him $3 for Bhagavatam. And 1 year later, I was in New York Temple shaped up like this, and he was in New York Temple shaped up like this. I said, do you remember me? 1 year ago, I met you in JFK, and you gave me Bhagavatam, and I gave you $3. And he said, $3? That's a $5 book. You owe me $2. So as I was walking away from him in JFK, I accidentally dropped $20 out of my pocket. And he picked it up and he called me back. Hey, come back, you dropped this. And he returned the $20 to me. So I was very impressed. I was thinking, you know, these Hare Krishnas, I like the food, I like the music, I like the people, but philosophy, I don't understand anything. So let me try to read this book, cover to cover, Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Part 1. Then maybe I'll understand something. So as Krishna arranged it, my flight was late, and I had time. I started reading Bhagavatam. And the beginning part, first part, introduction, is all the life of Lord Chaitanya. And it concludes with the Shikshastakam prayers. And when I read those prayers, I said, this is unique. I have never read anything like this in my life. I should read these every day. And then when I came to number 4, Nadanam na janam na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishvare, bhavatat bhaktir ahoitu kitvayi. I said, this is incredible. Nadanam, he doesn't want money, he doesn't want wealth. Najanam, he doesn't want fame. Nasundarim, he doesn't want relationships with some beautiful woman. Nakavitam, he does not want to go to the heaven planets. Mama janmani janmani shvare bhavatat bhakti rahoitu kitvayi. Just birth after birth after birth. He wants unmotivated devotional service. I said, this is incredible. Everyone, 99.9% people in the world, they're chasing these things. Money, fame, beautiful partner, going to heaven like this. He doesn't want this. He wants to go birth after birth and do service, unmotivated service. So I was thinking I should make it a goal in my life to try to understand what is this Advaita Bhakti, unmotivated devotional service. So I took a flight, I flew to Ireland. Ireland is like Kerala. It's very green, very beautiful place, God's own country, right? Ireland is a gorgeous place. I was living on a farm, and there were horses, there were cows, there were dogs, the whole thing. I had time. I was painting, I was writing music, composing music, reading, walking in the beautiful roads of the countryside, and I had a job. 1 day a week, I had to walk 2 kilometers, not very far, to a restaurant in a nearby town and sing, perform music for 2 hours. And they would feed me, and they would all say, oh, you sing so nicely. And they would give me 50 pounds, which in those days, this was like 1990 or so, 91. It was enough to last me the whole week. So I was living in a beautiful place. I only had to work 2 hours a week, and that was singing. But still, I was not fully satisfied. So in India, and here also, people, they have to work 8 hours a day, sometimes 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day. 2 jobs. And I was only working 1 job, and 1 day a week for 2 hours. But still, I was not satisfied. And I was only singing, which is something I like to do. So I moved out of my farmhouse. I moved into the forest. There was a valley there, and next to a river where I could drink the water. I had some oats that I brought with me, and I was just eating the plants growing in the forest and these oats. And I stayed in that forest for 1 month. And I was reading Bhagavatam, and I was praying to God. I did not know God was Krishna at that time. I was praying to God, please show me my path. Please show me what is the next step in my life. After 1 month, my supply of oats was finished. So I said, let me go into some town and get some more. So I went to Cork. Those days you hitchhike. You go to the road, you put out your thumb, the car stops, get in, and you drive some time, he turns, you want to go, he lets you down, again you stop someone, continue like this. So I took a few rides, I reached Cork, and I took out my trumpet to play, to get some donations, to buy some oats. And who do I see right there? But the Hare Krishna devotees, Haribol. And I said, Haribol. And they said, Haribol. And they were very surprised to see me because I just come out of the forest with my long hair and 1 month. I must have looked like some demon, you know, some crazy person. And I said, do you mind if I play my trumpet here? Will I disturb your book distribution? They said, no, you go ahead. And they gave me a nice book. And in this book, magazine, it had a Prabhupada's lecture. Prabhupada's lecture, he was saying animals do 4 things: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And human beings also do these 4 things. But human beings can do one thing beyond that. That is atato brahma jigyasya. They can inquire, who am I? Who is God? Why do I have to die? What happens when I die? How can I go back to the spiritual world? So I was like, yes, totally makes sense. You know, human beings. And he said, if you do not do atato brahma jigyasya and you only eat, sleep, mate, and defend, you're just a 2-legged animal. So I was like, that's absolutely true. And there was an article on how to offer your food. So I started offering my oats and those plants growing in the forest to Krishna. And there was really nice reciprocation. They said, come back next week for our Sunday feast. So I went on Sunday, and when I hitchhiked, it was so easy to get rides. Everything was just boom, so easy. I reached there, I had prasadam with them, very delicious prasadam. I took japamala from them. I immediately started chanting 16 rounds. And I had some wonderful experiences. I went back to my woods, and I remember one day walking and chanting my japa and just naturally waking up early. And then one day I was walking, there are cliffs overseeing the ocean in Ireland. And just as I was finishing my 16th round, the sun just peeked out of the ocean on the horizon and came up. And it was one of the most beautiful moments of my life. And I could really feel a great reciprocation with Krishna. And just as I finished my 16th round, the sun was coming up. So then I'm thinking, yes, you know, I want to move in with the devotees. I'll move in with them. So I went to a nearby town with all my possessions that I did not require and some gifts to mail by post back to US. So I sent them back, and then I'm on the outskirts of the town. And it's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm hitchhiking. And usually it takes only 10 minutes, someone will come and pick you up. But then 10 minutes went by, 20 minutes, half an hour. I'm thinking, Krishna, what's going on? You don't want me to go and join the devotees? 1 hour goes by, no one's stopping. 1.5 hours, 2 hours. I'm thinking, Krishna, what's going on? You don't want me to join the devotees? Then it's getting dark. After 2.5 hours, somebody stops. He's in a Volkswagen Beetle. I never saw a Volkswagen Beetle in Ireland before. He's long-haired hippie. Never saw a hippie in Ireland before. And he says, get in. I get in. He starts the car. He's driving. He turns to me and he asks me a question. He says, Do you know anything about yoga? Incredible question. So I start preaching to him from Srimad Bhagavatam. And I ask him, where are you going? And he says, I'm going to Cork. And that's the same place where the devotees stay. So he takes me back to my woods, helps me pack all my luggage, eats the last of my prasadam, puts me in the car and drives me direct to Cork, direct to the devotees' ashram, takes my luggage, puts my luggage right in the devotees' ashram, and takes prasadam and Haribol. And since that time, I've never left the association of devotees. So really, Krishna makes all arrangements. We take one step towards Krishna, Krishna takes 1,000 steps towards us. Yeyatam mam prapadyante tam stataya vabhajamyaham mama vartmani vartate manusya partha sarvashaha. That Krishna says, to the extent that you surrender unto me, I will reward you accordingly. So we just have to make an endeavor and try to serve Krishna, and Krishna will make all arrangements. Does that answer your question, Prabhu?
Okay.
Very good. Thank you so much. So we'll stop here,
Yeah.
and we'll meet again tomorrow for Balaram Jayanti. Shri Balaram Ji ki jai. Balaram Jayanti Maha Mahotsava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tagore Premanande. And I also have some Mahaprasadam